Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. Today we are going to do a little watercolor. As I'm sure you know, it's Watercolor Wednesday, and so I was going to do something from our hike that we took while we were in Nevada, but I have decided, because I looked out in our back, sort of, it's called a common area. It's just a large lawn with trees and that, where people can play ball or do whatever they want. And it's, you know, everybody in the subdivision can use it. So anyhow, it was covered with these little white mushrooms, and we do get these in our lawn every so often, like one or two, that kind of thing, but there were loads of them out there, and I just was like, oh, those would be so fun to paint. And they're not going to last long, I can tell, because they're already starting to kind of flatten, and yeah, I can tell that they're not going to make it much longer, but they're just little guys, and I don't know what kind they are. But anyway, you can see all the little gills in there. Maybe they're just so cute, so I thought it would be fun to attempt to do a little something with those. So I just have 3 of them, and so what I'm going to do first is just a little sketch, and these obviously are fairly simple. They don't have a lot of color, so I'll probably be adding some other color to them that they don't have, but just to make it a little bit more interesting. But you could definitely just do them in those whites and creams or whatever if you like. And I hope you guys will join me. So I'm just doing a basic kind of a thin long stem, and I don't know how well you can see because it is a little bit hard with pencil to see what we got going on. And I'm going to make it bigger. I don't want them that size. I want to make them a little bit bigger, just so that, you know, it's more of a painting. And then obviously just these little dome sort of tops. And I like the way this larger one has that kind of, I don't know what, chomp taken out of it. It almost looks like, but I don't think that's what it is. It's just like it lost part of its, they're so thin that I think it just lost part of its stuffs. So I'm gonna do the back one as well, just because you can kind of see it, well, especially because I have them laying down. But yeah, we'll just do that type of thing. So it's just a little, almost like a gumdrop or whatever, some ruffly edges on it. It's not like a super hard thing. And this one I'm gonna do, I want these guys to come in a little bit shorter rather than the way they are in reality. And I'm just very lightly using my pencil. And this is obviously not a fancy pencil of any type. It's just one of those little mechanical ones that you can find everywhere right now because it's school supply time. So don't need anything fancy. Use what you got. And then the little tiny guy, I'm gonna actually make his stem a little, you know, start shorter. I might make him come up a little higher. So yeah, I just felt inspired to do these little mushrooms. I hope you guys join me because they are, you know, not super complicated. Mushrooms are kind of a great thing to start with drawing or watercoloring, sketching, whatever, because they, you know, aren't super complicated. They're pretty simple little things. So these 2 are on the top, so I'm going to erase that line because I don't want that. And then here we kind of have a jumble of lines that I don't want. I do want the one, I guess, going over, huh? Because I think I do want the littlest one on top. But you could make it under, and that would also work. So I hope you guys are well. I'm doing okay. Life is a bit stressful at the moment, but we shall persevere. All right, so I'm going to take some of this gold that I have left. It's almost gone, but there's a little bit. And this is just one that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's whatever, Paper Studio, whatever, I think. Or maybe they call the paint one different. But anyway, it's just the sort of generic. It's nothing fancy. And I do have another one of these. If you're like, what are you doing? But I want to use this all up. I mean, it's a waste not to. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of just go here and there, filling in just to have something kind of in the background. And I don't want it, you know, perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Not that it would be anyway. And if I get some on the stems, it's no big deal. It'll just add a little extra color. I could have done this first, which is what I probably should have done, but I wanted to get the sketch on there. So we have that part done. A little more water. You know, I always just like something in the background. I can't ever just leave it plain white. Because that's not fun. Okay. And I liked that effect last week of just adding a tiny bit of color to that background. It just kind of is, I don't know, adds something, I feel like. And we're gonna wash it a little. Okay, I'm going to get this dry and then I'm going to come back because I want that background dry before I start messing with these because I don't want them to bleed out into the background. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and that's dry. I am going to use, or try anyways, because I don't know which one will be best. 8 round and a 2 round is kind of what I'm going to go with for this. I have, for colors, I am using, let's see, yellow ochre, this one, and I am using, sorry, I'm trying to figure out, I think it's the, the brown ochre. So yellow ochre, brown ochre, and then I'm going to use a little bit of deep purple one. I'm no expert in this, so I don't know what all of that is, but anyways, I'm going to just put some water on my little mushroom. Just so that we're gonna kind of, oopsies, do the wet on wet deal. And I'm gonna blot that where it dripped out because I don't want that color to go out there. I want it to stay in the lines of the mushroom there. I'm gonna take the brown ochre, kind of come in at the top and just sort of move it around. I don't have like really fancy paper or watercolor, so it doesn't bleed as well as like sometimes you watch videos or whatever and it really goes out. That all depends on the color, the specific color, and like I guess the cotton watercolor paper is best for that. And this, I'm not sure what this one is. It's 140 pound, you know, watercolor paper, but I don't want to mess that anymore because the paper's coming apart. I'm just going to add a little bit of that deep purple at the top instead of maybe the brown. You can see this one is bleeding a little bit more, and those don't have purple clearly, but I want more color than what they have, so that's why I'm doing it that way. And I'm actually going to put the purple in here as well. Now I'm going on dry. Oops, I got a little bit there. Kind of the under of the mushroom. And thank you guys, you're so sweet with your comments on my watercolors, because like I've said before, I'm not like a, I've not had any training or classes or anything on watercolor. I just watched a few other artists and wanted to try it. So like I'm basically learning as well. So we can all hang out and learn together. This is the yellow ochre and a little bit of the brown ochre. Just work it up there a little. Just give them some interest, you know. Put like just a little dot there. And I think for the stem, I'm gonna start with yellow ochre and brown ochre, and then I might add a little purple. So what you guys been up to? Are you roasting? I am absolutely roasting. It is so hot. I was so looking forward to getting home and having it be a little bit cooler. I mean, granted, it is cooler than Vegas for sure, but it's still real hot. It's just that time of the year. I remember my kids were little and we did the fair. Oh my goodness. It would just be misery every year. I mean, you know, it's good for them to do that 4-H and all. I definitely would tell anyone that's a great thing. It's just the worst time of the year. My daughter would always do the fashion show because she sewed. And I just remember sitting in one of those like tent things. You know, you have to wait forever for everything. Them giving awards and all that. I mean, I'm sure they do it a little bit different everywhere, but anyways, it's just so steamy hot that you're like, I'm gonna pass out. Ugh. But they really enjoyed 4-H and learned a lot. Like, it was a great experience. I'm not happy with the way this paper is doing that. It's yeah, weird. All right. Well, I might have to revisit that little mushroom. So let's start on, let that one dry a little bit and go to this one. Maybe wet on wet with this wasn't a great idea. But like I said, I'm learning too. So we can just hang out together and paint and see what we get, right? Go on this one. I'm not gonna work that one over there very much. I'm just gonna kind of let it be. Let her be. I think I got a little too much water. I think what you want to do is just sort of get a little tiny sort of a shine to the paper. It is, if nothing else, we can all relax while we do this, right? Because it's very relaxing. I find it very relaxing anyway. And who doesn't love a mushroom? So cute. Okay, get a little bit of this. I was gonna tell you guys something. Oh, I wanted to thank my friend Heidi. Thank you so much, sweet friend. She put such a lovely post up for me yesterday, and I pinned it on my video. Or not yesterday, it was Monday, 50 stack challenge. And I just so appreciate you for doing that, Heidi. It was just so kind. She just kind of put out, if you could please like and subscribe, and just any interaction either with each other or me or anything really helps the algorithm, and I know it's ridiculous, and I'm so sorry I keep bugging you guys about it, but I don't know what else to do because I'm just kind of, you know, getting at the end. Like I just really am trying to get things going again, because things were going great for the longest time. I'm not really sure what has happened, but I also, by talking to Heidi, found out that her first comment was taken down by YouTube apparently. So if you ever comment on my videos and I don't answer you either with a like or a some type of interaction or an actual comment back or whatever, if that ever happens, please check and see if your comment is even up. And I know this is such a pain for you guys. You're like, I don't have time to do that. And I get it. If you don't worry about it. But I'm just saying, because I don't know why her comment would get taken down, because it was all nice and good and nothing bad or bad words or nothing. So I'm really not sure what that's about. So it bothers me a bit, because I feel like why is that happening? I feel like I'm not getting all of my comments, is I guess what I'm getting at. So if you don't hear back from me, then chances are I didn't get your comment, because I always at least like them, and most of the time I always comment back, because I like talking to you guys. I like hearing what you have to say, what you think about whatever, you know, it's fun. So and I'm sorry if you did make a comment and I didn't get it. It was not intentional on my part. So just know that. I think this is too dark and I keep adding stuff to it. That's not smart. I like these two better than that one. So that's kind of the problem I'm having right now. But I guess that's the older one, so it looks a little more, I don't know, what would you call it? I don't know if I want to do this, or let's do, I want to do some splatters, but I'm not sure what color I want to do. Not that. So anyway, very easy to make some little mushrooms. And I'm going to do some scribblies like I always do. We might add some stamps and stuff too, because I kind of have a lot of blank area here. Okay, so I'm going to get this dry and we're going to come back and see where we're at. Okay, so I'm all dry. I'm going in with a 05 micron. I always have it the wrong direction. So that's all I'm using. And I will be moving this, which I apologize, but I can't, you know, your hand only goes so many directions when you're trying to write. And you can see I'm not doing perfect continuous lines. I'm doing shaky lines because I can't help it. Oh, the fun part of getting older. The eyes go, the hands start shaking. It's like, this is not what I want to do. I'm essentially just going over my pencil lines and adding a few little, you know, extras. And my little squigglies, because I think they're fun. But if you like it to be cleaner, then don't do the squigglies. That'll give you a better, cleaner look. But if you like them, do them. I just think they add some whimsy. I like that. yeah, the Ruby Mountains. Oh, it's just so beautiful there in Nevada. I highly recommend if you've never been. The hiking and camping and all. It's very nice. Unfortunately, where we went, they had a campground, and I think it was last year or the year before, I can't remember exactly. It all burnt. I think it was actually 2 years ago now that I think it was 2020 summer. But anyways, huge fire all through it's kind of like a gorge, or I don't know what they call it, but anyways, it's just so sad because it burnt down. They had a huge campground, I guess, that they had camps for kids and all kinds of stuff, and it all burnt. They had a big lodge and all kinds of A-frame little house, cabins, not houses, and yeah, that's so sad. And it's like it would cost them like $5 million to rebuild that, so they don't think they're going to be able to do that. I mean, over time they might gradually add stuff or build stuff. When we were there was a gazebo that they had built where the old cabin or the old lodge stood, because the fire, the chimney and all that was still there. So yeah, so I mean, they are doing some things, but it's just sad when that happens. Darn fires. And the problem is that fire was started not by lightning, which, there's really nothing you can do about that. That's going to happen. But it was, I guess some people were shooting at a gun range, which, that's fine. But something about the type of gun, I guess they weren't supposed to be using or something, caused the fire. So that was sad. And these are Tim Holtz stamps. I'm just going to kind of put some of those around. Some mark making. Since I've got some blank spots, sorry, I've got the sniffles all of a sudden out of nowhere. Got allergies pretty bad. It happens this time of the year quite frequently. I'm not a huge allergy person, but I do get them now and again. My corn cob, if you're wondering what in the world that was, that's what it was. Fun thing in my Schedule D, and I got this at a antique store, so can't really help anybody with that, but if you find one, grab it, because they're really pretty cool. I think they look neat on stuff. And where are those lids? I like these Tim Holtz, the little tissue paper tube lids. That's what this is. And we can do some little doodlies. So I hope you guys give this a try, and of course you can doodle it, not doodle it, whatever. Do whatever you like. Sorry, I know that's probably really annoying when I do that. I'm gonna do something on this one because it's looking sort of harried. It's got, that paper sort of came apart. I move all over because I can't decide what I want to do. Or where. Let's go this way. You can make any kind of marks you want. I'm doing this so light, like I'm half not even touching the paper the whole time, so. Just putting some real weird numbers in there. Okay, what else do I want? Anything? That might be it for today. I don't know why I like to do those. It's fun. I like the number 5. All right, there she blows. So obviously extremely different from these mushrooms, but they were just the inspiration. So always remember that. You don't have to make it be exactly like, I guess it would be nice if I took this off. Exactly like the thing. You can, obviously, if you want to make them just like they are, then that's of course wonderful. But it's also fun to do them a little more, I don't know, abstract or whatever you would call this, mixed media. So that one I like a lot. I wasn't liking it for a minute, but I actually really liked it too much. I want the glare off of that. Oh, I need to sign it, don't I? Don't ever forget to sign your work. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you give it a try, and I will see you again soon. Love you guys. Bye.